Welcome everyone. For everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Lennaert. I am the founder of Benzak Denim Developers. This is our studio where we're in. And today, I would like to do a Q&A. So you can ask me anything you want about the collection, about the brand, about maybe how we started. Got some pieces from the latest collection already here. We got some new stuff also to show you. We also have a nice little sort of teaser surprise in the end. So stick with us if you wanna see what we're cooking up. Basically, I think it would be best if you type your questions in the chat, and you can. I mean, if we need to have a conversation, then you can always unmute yourself. Yeah, so I have my beer ready. Everyone else also, cheers. It's been a long day already, I guess, for some of you guys. Yeah, just hit me up if you want to know anything about the brand. Otherwise, I can just tell a little bit about myself as well. So the brand itself was started. Well, we launched the first collections in 2013. It only started with two made in Japan jeans, and my mission for that collection was to develop a pair of jeans to the best of my knowledge. For me, that was in Japan, and to create a product that was sort of combination between the Japanese eye for detail and the and European fits, because at that time it was a bit more difficult to get more like Western fits in let's say in the Japanese way. A lot of the Japanese brands were doing these vintage cuts. Now they're doing they caught up basically, a lot of them, and they're doing great stuff obviously as well. And but back then it was quite new. And from there on, the brand actually grew very slowly. I've been doing it on the side. Back then, I was working for other brands as well. Every year, added a few styles to the collection. What's important to mention as well is that the first collection were all funded with crowdfunding, so crowdfunded by Kickstarter or Indiegogo in the beginning. And yeah, that is something that is it was back then also quite unique. Not a lot of brands were doing that, and so basically Benzak was born online, and we're now in a weird time where we're all going back online because we can't really meet each other. So it feels very very safe and very familiar, let's say, to hang out online and do something like this. Then so as I told you, we started with made in Japan jeans. I was doing it on the side, working for other brands, and then in 2016, when I got a lot of feedback from people, from the business, from friends, a lot of them were saying, okay, really love the product, but it has a price point of 300 euros. It's not for me, it's too expensive, or I don't have the kind of money, or I don't want to pay 300 euros for a pair of jeans. I think most of the guys here don't really mind, but yeah, to grow a little bit bigger, it's something that made me think of, okay, what can I do? How can I expand my brand? What can I do to also make this a full-time thing? Because that was my my dream, or my goal, let's say. And I basically went back to the drawing board and stripped down the Japanese product from all its details. So I got a pair of Japanese ones over here, and one of the things that's really important about what we do with the Made in Japan branded Made in Japan line is that it's full of little details, full of small things, almost hidden stuff. Well, we have the sixth pocket over here. We call the hidden sixth pocket, And the idea behind this pocket is that jeans are an continuously evolution thing. You know, they in the 1900s, late 1900s, jeans only had 4 pockets. So mine workers had 4 pockets. So the fifth pocket, which was actually a second back pocket, wasn't there yet. But because of the need of more pockets, they added another pocket. And the jeans, obviously, as you know, probably know from the 501s, evolved from year to year. So it's an evolving product, even though they kept the same name. And with that in mind, I was thinking, okay, the jeans evolve even further. And how are we using our jeans right now? And we carry a lot of stuff with us usually, because we have our phone, we have our wallet. If you smoke, you have your cigarettes and a lighter, you have keys, maybe some loose change. So I was looking for a place for an extra pocket. And for me, this was the most logical position to do that, because it's the opposite of where the coin pocket is. This is an empty space. And I get a lot of questions about the selvage line. It might be too tacky, too exposed, but there's a very logical reason behind this, because I kind of agree with that. First of all, because it's one layer of fabric, it's the same thickness as the waistband, so it's very smooth now. And secondly, usually you wear a belt, and when you wear a belt, it's hidden. You don't see it. So that's why we call it the hidden sixth pocket. This is a detail that you can find in all of our jeans. But other than that, our made in Japan jeans are like full of geeky details. We have obviously a waistband construction that is going from the chain stitch, going from one end all the way to the other end. And then with a single stitch line, they start here, go all the way over, and then finish here with the V-stitch. We have a total of 7 different yarns in the jeans. So a good example you can see here on the back pockets. We have the brass color, we have the copper color, and this is normally a dark blue, but actually this is black on this one, because this is also a brand new fabric that we're going to release soon. This is actually a black fabric, so it's black denim, but it's black with ecru. So we already have a black in our collection, but this is black with ecru denim, and this is going to drop, I think, maybe this month already. We're going to release it, but it's fun to show now already, of course. Another cool thing that we do with the patch is that the letters are what we call embossed, so they're going out. And that means when you fade the patch, the letters get darker first. So I see that we got a couple of questions also, so let's also dive into that. So how do you come up with new ideas for the collection? What's your biggest inspiration? So yeah, it's a good question, difficult question as well, because inspiration, I mean, we get everywhere. I like to think I like to build up my collections very logical. So where I start with is to look at what do we have, what is actually in there. And that also has a reason, because most of the things that we develop are meant to be kept in the collection for as long as possible. We try to avoid doing like really seasonal stuff. Of course, we have a couple of seasonal items every year, but the core of the collection is meant to be carried over for as long as possible. Because I mean, a good pair of jeans is should be. I mean, it's always the same. If you have your fit, you can just change the fabric maybe from time to time. But other than that, it's just, if you have your fit, you want to stick to that. So, for example, in 2013, when we launched the first 2 Japanese styles, the BDD 006 was part of that, and it's still up to date. It's one of the best-selling cuts that we do. It's like what our 501, let's say. Yeah, so coming up with ideas is a combination of looking at what we already have. We do a lot of fabric sourcing. Most of the the start of the collection usually is fabrics. It's always fabric based. If we can't find a fabric, we try to create it with our mills. We have done two. I have to say this right. We've done one in Japan now, the special number one. We've done another one with Caniani in Italy, and we just released an ecru denim, which is actually also an exclusive because I have it here. It has a special blue selvage line, which they developed specially for us. You can't get this from Berto if you do the sourcing there. This is for Benzak. And we have another new one, another new special fabric coming up, which I'll probably show you later in this meeting. Yeah, so it's usually fabric. Sometimes looking at, okay, do we need a new fit? Where are fits going to? We feel that at the moment fits are getting a bit wider again. Luckily, I mean, if you look at the mainstream market, it's still skinny and stretchy and whatever, and that's not something that we do. And there's also, by the way, there's a question about that. Why not stretch denim? Good one, Thomas.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, so you got to show people your T-shirt as well if they haven't.
Yeah. So this is actually a little joke, but also it's kind of true.
We don't wear stretch denim.
Yeah. So the idea behind that is not that stretch denim per se is the devil. I mean, it has become market standard. An important thing about why we avoid doing stretch denim is the fact that there are plastics in the fabric, which is not a good thing for the environment. So of course there's also a lot of water pollution going on with the cotton growth and things like that. But you can tackle that problem with another thing, that our jeans are lasting very long, so you don't have to replace them quite often. But the most important thing, I guess, why we don't do stretch denim is that stretch might be comfortable in the beginning, but a worn-in pair of jeans that are made of 100% cotton, or at least not with stretch in it, but with it can be hemp or anything else natural, will evolve to be a better fitting pair of jeans than any pair of jeans with stretch in them. It's like a pair of 100% cotton jeans will only get better, and a pair of stretch denim will only get worse, basically, because the stretch goes out and they will sag. And yeah, so that's the main reason for me actually not to wear stretch denim. This is of course a little joke that we made. So we also released the women's jeans last year. So we did 100% cotton, 15-ounce denim for women. The ecru denim is also released in the women's cut now, which is 12-ounce and on stretch as well. So we put both of the characters on there. Okay, we do something with unsanforized denim soon. If your answer no, why not? Good question. The answer is no. No, in the sense that we are still, I believe still that we are at a level that we want to reach a larger audience that doesn't understand it and should be able to wear unsanforized denim. And there is already so much unsanforized denim on the market at the moment. So at the moment, no, we're not gonna do that. It's a I mean, I like it. If we would do it right now, we would do it then one washed. So in case people don't know what unsanforized is, I'll just explain it really quickly. It's loom state, which means that it skips the sanforization process, which allows it to not shrink any further. So unsanforized denim will shrink up to 10%. So if you buy a pair of unsanforized jeans, then you have to make sure that you buy 2 sizes larger because it can shrink into your size. One of the benefits of unsanforized denim and then shrink it to your size is that if you cut the yoke on 90%, you will create a nice shape. And some people also like the texture of unsanforized denim over sanforized denim. But yeah, at this point, no, we're not going to do that for the reasons I just told you. So Portugal is a production land. Yeah, it's a good question as well, because we want to for our European line, we strip down the made in Japan product to the bare essentials, which is a good fit, nice fabrics and clean construction. And obviously, when you produce, we are based in Amsterdam, and when you produce in Japan, you have to deal with high shipping costs to get the stuff in and stuff like that. So we wanted to stick to European production, and there are a lot of good factories in Portugal. We have like flight connections that you can take in the morning, and then in the evening you can take the flight back if you want, if it's necessary. So in that way, it's around the corner for us here in Holland. And that's basically, yeah, those are the main reasons that we are producing our made in Europe line in Portugal. We do, however, use fabrics from both Japan and Italy for the made in Europe line. Okay, next one. We have solid range denim bottoms. Yeah, so where's going to be the focus? So the focus is always going to stay on jeans. I mean, that's our core product. But since the SS20 collection, which we have fully dropped right now with the ecru as the last part of it, we are experimenting now with, or not even experimenting, we are releasing quite some tops now. We have a couple of them hanging behind me, actually. I can grab the shirt, for example. So here, this is our work shirt, herringbone. We have it available in sand, and Ed's wearing the navy one. So we have navy and sand, and this is the first one. First two we have released, but we are planning to do a lot more. We have a couple of other ones already lined up for AW20. So yeah,
show us that label again. Looks really awesome.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's something we. So it says Benzak Workwear. Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah. Grab me the green the commuter. Yeah. Yeah, this is another cool new item. This is one of the few seasonal items, actually. So I talked about that we're barely doing any seasonal stuff. This is a seasonal one. So it's ripstop. So ripstop, if you're not familiar with ripstop, you can see it by the square weave, and it's lightweight but very durable because of the thicker yarns. It's 100% cotton. So usually, more commonly, ripstop fabrics are made from polyester, but we used 100% cotton one. It's from Japan, and this style is something that we call the commuter style because we've developed it for the Dutch commuter, the bicycle rider. It has arm slits that you see on motorcycle jackets as well, so you can move your arm better. We have an elastic band in the bottom to keep the wind from going in. It's super lightweight, and it has the same workwear label as well. And it's really nice when I ride my bike every day, twice. So yeah, it's very, very comfy and very nice for spring weather. And yeah, if you can grab the last one that I want to show. This is my favorite, actually. This is our varsity bomber jacket. This is a jacket style that we're going to keep in the collection in every season in different kind of fabrics, with different kind of details. This one is a linen fabric, cotton linen on the outside. It's indigo dyed. It's from Italy, and it has it has a full camo lining. The zipper is from, if you can see, it's a talon zipper. It's not really going well. Well, yeah, talon zippers. And yeah, this is really one of my favorite pieces from the collection. So let's continue. What modes what's fabrics this season? Whoa, a lot of questions, guys. Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, that's a good one about the sourcing of fabrics. Well, when is it good enough for Benzak? Well, we work with a very select group of mills, and those are Collect in Japan and Kurabo. In Japan, we work with Caniani. In Italy, we work with Berto. And for our knits, we have a local supplier in Portugal. Basically, what they offer is always good quality. So on that level, we don't really need to look for kind of, yeah, for a good quality or not. But yeah, like I said, when we source fabrics, it's really like, what were we missing? So do we need to add, for example, another heavyweight, or do we need a different shade? Like, are we missing a gray cast, for example, in the for AW20? So that's, let's say, September deliveries in a few months. For the Japanese line, we are now, I think we're missing a gray cast, we're missing a double indigo. So both of them are going to be added to that collection in two fits. That's basically how we look at different fabrics. Like, what are we missing? And obviously, no stretch. So yeah. Okay. What motivates you to come up with something new for the line? Customer input, sales, something else? It is a matter of that's a difficult one. A lot of it goes like, it's a sort of feeling, let's say, what I have. I mean, I'm in constant. I look what's going on in the market. I look at what I like to add myself. I mean, it basically started with making a pair of jeans for me, garments that I want to wear myself. So yeah, that's very important. We obviously also listen to our customers, and we listen to our retailers. We also love input from consumers. I mean, if you have ideas for a new product, you can always DM us on Instagram, or you can send us an email. And of course, we would read that, and we would consider different things, as long as it's within the Benzak philosophy. Then it's always, we can always consider those kind of things. Sales is obviously important as well. I mean, we have last summer we did great on our chino, and normally chino wasn't something that I had on top of my mind to add into the collection, but it did so well that we carried it over to the next collections and added new fabrics, and it's becoming a sort of not a second product group next to jeans, because jeans are the most important product group by far. But they've been doing quite well. So sales is obviously also a good reason to get inspired for what's next. It's also a good, if you have bad sales, don't do it again, or at least analyze it. Like, if you have a if it's the fit, if it's the fabric, like, try to think of, okay, why didn't this work? And it happens all the time as well. I mean, we don't have like winners all the time. Yeah. So let's see. Oh yeah. For everyone who just joined, we're gonna end this Zoom meeting with a teaser for something that is coming up. So if you want to see that, just stick to the end. Okay.
Bomber jacket is awesome and great for both genders.
Yeah, we got some other questions.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut one.
Yeah. So now, after some time, how does the Juggernaut turn out in your opinion? Will you do heavyweight again or stick to midweight? I think that I have to be completely honest. I didn't expect the Juggernaut to sell so well, to be fair. So I'm super stoked how that went. It sold out. I think we have one piece left in size 36. So if you're a 36, go grab them. Yeah, I was happily surprised. I mean, this was a type of product that I just wanted to do to see how our customer would react to it, and luckily it was a good one. I do have to say that I think that Benzak has established itself as a mid-weight denim brand, and there are a couple of great brands out there that do the heavyweight stuff really, really well. And I think they should do that, and we should stick a little bit to our stuff. But that doesn't mean that we will not do any heavyweights soon. So, for example, AW20. I'm just going to show you guys. AW20 is coming up September, October. Let me just grab it 1 second. Here it is. So this is 18.5 ounce, which we're going to drop for in a few months. It has the same selvage colors as our 15 ounce Tiger Selvage, but this is an 18 ounce version. It's made by Kurabo as well. So yeah, we're gonna stick to heavy stuff. At least if you think this is heavy enough for being called a heavyweight, then yeah, we're gonna do some stuff, of course.
Ben, that's a good question. What's your backstory? Designer, fashion student.
Yeah. So I've well, my backstory to begin with is I've been a denim nerd since I think the age of 16. I'm now 35, so that's 19 years already, right? Yeah, 19. So that's quite a long time now. For me, it started with Evisu, like with many guys my age. One of the first Japanese brands that came into the European market. So from that point, I was hooked on denim. Tried to educate myself and read a lot about denim on mainly on the forums. So that was pre-social media. But there was a lot of knowledge to be found on forums. And then I went, when I was 18 or when I was 19, I went to study at Amsterdam Fashion Institute, which is a fashion school, but I did the more like the more managing business side of the fashion part, where I keep developing myself. Mainly through self-education on denim. And I knew already, like when I was 18, I knew already that I wanted to do my own brand, because I had all these Japanese brands. I had like a lot of jeans from Japanese brands in my collection. I was looking at the product and thinking, okay, I want to do this. It's not that I want to compete with them or something. It's just I want to, or do it better, let's say. But I thought I want to be part of this. Yeah, so I have a fashion degree in that sense, but a lot of the denim knowledge was either learned by just reading online and working in the field. I mean, the most knowledge you get by just doing and not reading it in books. Yeah, so it's a combination of following passion and just trying to do things. Like, for example, after I graduated, I found my own company already. Did some other things that I'm doing right now. But right after that, I just went to Turkey, just went to a factory and produced with them my first pair of jeans. The whole project failed miserably, but that's something for another Zoom meeting, or maybe another time even. Yeah, so that's a little bit my backstory on denim. When it comes to interacting with customers, I like what Ironheart is doing. A community full of members where there's information shared on sizing, shrink, fit, long-term experience. Could you imagine doing something like that? Yes, 100% sure. I really love, like, thumbs up for how Ironheart is doing that. It's really admiring, I have to say. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's. I think that we are. Sometimes it sounds strange, maybe, to talk about other brands like that. But I'm also a fan. I'm also a denim fan. I love what the other brands are doing. I don't even consider us all the brands. Also, all the brands that are competing or not competing. I mean. I say that?
Colleagues.
Huh?
Colleagues.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We have to fight together against, like, the fast fashion. In the end, I don't mind if someone who used to buy at H&M is going to buy a pair of Ironheart jeans or a pair of 316s or Kings of Indigo or whoever else is within, like, this group of people. As long as it's one of us, you know, then it's a win. That's what I believe, and I don't believe in the competition, you know, like that. Competition is the fast fashion. Yeah, so it's what Ironheart is doing is great. It's amazing. It's something that I'd love to do it on that level as well, and we're working on that. But we're also a very small team. It's just 3 people and a couple of sales agents. So we do it step by step, and yeah. So every month we try to improve our website. We try to improve how we communicate, how fittings are. For example, at the moment we are working on a fit video for our women's style, because it's women's denim is a little bit different, obviously, than men's. So we're working on a sort of informative but also fun way how to show how women should fit our jeans, which is basically get them as tight as possible and then wear them until they stretch out a bit. That's the it's also a fun thing to work on, the women's stuff, because it shows you, for me it's a very new thing. I don't think we're going to release like a full range of women's clothing, because we're still a men's brand. But you know, we have two pairs now, 2 styles now. We have 2 t-shirts now, and we're trying to sort of get some women to be infected with the same indigo virus, you know, with the trying to wear them, not wash them, fade them yourself, things like that. And then Thomas asks a very very personal question. So what's your favorite toy in the office? So toys, what do you mean toys? Do I have toys?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I mean, I don't know if you call them toys, but I know, I mean, and some people might know that you have it's not only denim that you're into, you're also into
maybe
another
just
thing.
Little quick round. I'm a big Ghostbusters fan, and yeah, so basically if you look up here, those are all toys, mint in box, and it goes.
Sorry, I don't know if you call them toys. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
They're action figures, Thomas. I got a cabinet case over there. That one full of them. Yeah, I have a lot. So I don't have a favorite one. Okay. Well, if we want to change it into a Ghostbusters meeting, it's also fine with me. But I'm not sure if everyone would leave then. And yeah, that's an interesting question by Ben. So what areas of the world is Benzak targeting next? Basically, we're already targeting the entire world. But our main focus is currently on Northern Europe, a little bit of the US as well, and we're doing quite well in China and Southeast Asia. We both have retailers and consumers over there. So we try to grow all these markets at the same time, actually, and we like to do that, just do it step by step. It's a very natural growth as well, and that's going pretty well for us. So do you have any upcoming collaborations that you can talk about? Yes and no. Yes, we have, but we can't talk about that right now. So we have to keep that for later. It's at least two this year, but maybe you know more about one of them if you stick till the end of this Zoom meeting. So everyone has enough beer? Yeah? I want another one.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Oh, there's that question. What's the story of the brand name? Yeah, I love that one. It's actually a very silly one, because it's my nickname from when I was young. And when I launched my brand, I wanted to have a personal thing in the brand name. And my own name, Lennaert Nijg, is quite difficult to pronounce already in Holland. So you can imagine how it would be outside of our country. And so I thought, let's just stick with my nickname, which is it's an easy to pronounce name. It doesn't mean anything weird in different in different languages, which is also quite important. Sometimes like brands think of like new names for a new style or something, and then it turns out to be a curse word in some language. So that's something we check before we register it. Yeah, so it's a personal thing. It's my nickname. Like my closest friends from the past, from when I was young, they also still call me Benzak or Benny Benzak, stuff like that. What is it with baseball and Benzak? Where does this connection come from? So when I look at style, I really like let's say the classic American style, the pair of jeans, white tee, a cap, leather jacket, denim jacket, that kind of style, pair of Chucks or Red Wing boots. And I always wore caps since I can remember. Since I was in elementary school, I was wearing caps. Used to collect caps from Minnesota Vikings, which are actually a American football team, so it's not baseball. But switched also to Yankee caps and stuff like that. So I was always into the sort of the whole vibe that baseball brings with it, like the clothing and the style. I never played baseball. I used to play cricket, which is very uncommon in Holland. It's a British sport, and baseball derived from that. So maybe there's this other connection I have with a similar sport like that, but it's mainly the style. Yeah, so got a new beer. Cheers. I have something to show you guys as well. I was talking about the about a third exclusive Benzak fabric. That's let's see, I have it right here. So the color is a bit off, but as you can see, this fabric, it's made by Kalyani, and it has a recycled weft. So that's why it gets this grayish tint. And it's made from denim scraps. So it's made from cuttings that are left after they cut the fabric for the like when they cut the patterns. It's made from those denim scraps. So that's why it has a sort of grayish tint in it, because of the remains of indigo that are still in there. And the weight of it is 14 ounce. So for me, that's the perfect mid-weight. As you guys probably know, we do mostly mid-weight denim. And so besides that it's recycled, it has an organic cotton warp. But the most interesting thing about this fabric, it's going to drop in October, by the way, but the most interesting thing about it is that it's a quick fading fabric. So
is interested in to see how it ages.
Yeah, well, I'm actually wearing it, so I hope the light can show it well enough. We have a light, actually, yeah, there it goes. So this is after only, I have to count, February, March, April, May, 3.5 months of wearing. Yeah, the fading is like, it's insane how quickly this goes without any wash. So if you want quick results, this is that fabric that we want to, that you want to have. This is a good example also with an idea that I had that I couldn't find anywhere. So I challenged Alberto Kalyani, the owner of Kalyani, to basically develop it for us. And yeah, we work well. Yeah, we work quite well together on these kind of things. And even though we're a small brand, he was able to develop something like that because it was also a fun project for him. And it's a bit of a technical thing, but we basically skipped a step in the process where the indigo gets fixated to the yarns. So it that's why it chips off quicker, so it fades quicker that way. From Ben has a question. For young and new designers or brands, what mistakes did you make when building Benzak that new kids could avoid? I think one of the things that I did wrong in the beginning was build too much stock without having actual orders in them. The first batch that I did was that batch that I did in 2000, what was it, 2008 or 9 in Turkey. I made way too many jeans. And even though you think you have the best idea in the world, and you would think that you're going to sell them quickly, that's not, most of the times it's not going to happen. So really be careful when investing in stock, because the problem with having too much stock that doesn't sell is you basically have money sitting there that you can't use. You can't do anything with it. And yeah, so I think that's one that's very important. Another thing that's really important to also to understand is, don't try to grow too quick. Have the patience, people with the longest breath will last the longest. So I was able to turn this into a full-time business for myself in 2016. And that was when the product was already almost 4 years on market. And I was doing a lot of other projects and things for myself and for others before that. So don't try to grow too quickly. You can do it. You can do it, in my opinion, you can do it in two ways. You can get an investor, then you can grow like this, but when you fall, you also fall like this. If you grow slowly, more like this, and then there's a bad time coming, it will go like this. So you have more time to adjust. You have more time to reinvent your business model or make some other changes to avoid like a big loss. So that's yeah. That I think those are the two most important things, and also stick to your own ideas. I mean, be confident that even though you always have to listen to other people, also stick to your ideas.
Great answer.
Yeah. So, how's everyone doing? Any more questions? Do you guys want to know anything more about new products or 30 minutes left, teaser, please? No, we do it in the end. Stick with us.
Oh yeah, you're so good at this.
Yeah. Maybe I can show you guys something more interesting. Do we have the can you get the duck canvas? I'm going to show you guys a new fabric, another new fabric. The chino in the duck canvas, that one. Yeah. Yeah. So earlier in this Zoom presentation, I already explained that chinos are doing quite well for us, and this is also one of my favorites from the new collection that's coming up in I think this one is, yes, for September. It's a new chino style. It's a relaxed chino. It's a bit cleaner than our current chino because it has only one single stitch line over here. It has a single stitch line over here. It's fully lined with 8-ounce Japanese chambray. It's the same fabric that we use for our Made in Japan line as well, for all the lining. And here you can see the beautiful selvage from this duck canvas. It's one of my favorites from the new collection as well. So yeah. Oh, as someone asked, the bomber to be made in selvage denim. Are we gonna do? No, we're not gonna do it in selvage denim, not for now. But it will probably be released in this fabric, so a chambray, and then fully lined. And we're planning to do a sort of loose weave, real denim, but loose weave denim for the season after. So our bomber fit is really one to stay. But if there's if there's a lot of animo for a selvage bomber, then let us know if you want it. Then we can always consider it. I mean, we're always open for suggestions. I mean, would be interesting to see how that fades. We're doing a lot of more conventional denim jackets anyway. But yeah, that might be an interesting one as well. Have I showed you? I wanted to get back on. I forgot almost. I wanted to get back on the Japanese stuff because we were talking in the beginning about all the details, and I wanted to show you guys a couple of things that we, besides the hidden 6 pocket that we already talked about, and the waistband construction. So there's a few more details that are quite important for us, which is the same chambray pocketing. It's 100% cotton, which we showed you before as well. All of our labels, like these kind of labels, are also made from a 100% cotton base. So if the indigo bleeds on them, it gets a little bit bluish. And we got the, on the back of the label, it says indigo dye garment with the indigo molecule, which is just a funny hidden symbol. All of our rivets, this is a hidden rivet over here, are branded with BDD. Make sure, if you, yeah, so you can see it like that. Like that. We have, so this this label. Does anyone know where where the inspiration for this label comes from? You can type it in chat.
Lee.
Leron wins. Well, everyone knows it's Lee, obviously. So I always love this classic combination of black with yellow in the center and then red text. So I've used this from the beginning and just never changed it. And it's my sort of homage to one of the 3 original brands. I always love Lee a little bit better, a little bit more better than Levi's somehow. Maybe because they're sort of the underdog. Always root for the underdog. Another interesting thing about the buttons that we use. This is both interesting from a more sustainable point of view, but also from a fading perspective. All the buttons that we use are a 100%, this is 100% brass. We have 100% stainless steel, and we have 100% copper. So that means that usually with metal that is an alloy, like a mix of metals, you get a different sort of color popping through once you fade it, and it gets a bit dull. And these stay to color. They just oxidize in its natural way. So that's for us, that's also quite interesting. And the fact that it's more sustainable because the way they are produced is better for the environment than producing alloy metal buttons. They're a bit more expensive, but I mean, that's part of this whole product, I think. Maybe do more left-hand twill. I fully agree. AW20 will get a gray cast left-hand twill in the Made in Japan line. So we got you covered. Will the Japanese Dutch flag label return in the Japanese line? No, we're not going to do that anymore. So a question is asked by Rob. I know he owns a pair of those ones. So stick to it, and because it's going to be rare. No, we decided to leave off the flags because I don't really believe in like borderlines like that. You know, it's one world, and doesn't matter if that we're from Holland, and it's just important that you know that where the product is made, because it's also, you have to put it in your garment by law. So better do it in a nice way. But the fact that we're from Holland doesn't do that much to me anymore. So we've talked about jackets also before. Maybe that's the last thing I want to talk about before we go out. Jackets are quite important for us. There's one final jacket that I want to show you guys as well. Just gonna grab it. I just showed you the chino in the canvas, and this is a new style we're gonna do. This is the BDJ03 zip jacket. This will be dropped in September, and it's fully lined with a flannel fabric from Portugal. Super comfy, super soft. Really love the color. We put the selvage line also in here, and it has a small pocket over here. Yeah, so this is also one of our favorite ones. So keep an eye out for it. Yeah. Any other questions? Mm. Because otherwise we're going to wrap this thing up. And oh yeah, there's the EU. Oh, it's wearing it.
I'm gonna keep this.
There's the EU denim hang after this, so I might be joining that as well. So if you have some more questions, there, just go in there, and maybe we can talk a little bit further about anything. Yeah. Other than that, I think thank you very much for joining us. And oh, there's one more question. Will the new jacket be boxy too? Yeah, it's quite boxy. It's quite boxy. It's an old school style. So yeah, let's see. So I'm gonna mute everyone. So but stick in here. Don't be offended. And let's see. Okay. Here we go.